Morning guys, going to crack into this CFMoto today, rip suspension off and see what we're working with. Just hit some bitumen roads and a couple of little dirt roads as well with some decent potholes, but yeah, quite a bit of feedback up through the handlebars in the front end, and the rear end, yeah, the sort of the other end of the spectrum, quite wallowy, especially through the big G outs and stuff, and yeah, not very active in the rear end. So yeah, we'll tear this thing apart and see what we're working with. Alrighty guys, got the forks out of this CFMoto, so we'll tear them apart and have a look inside. Alrighty, got the compression side leg apart. So we're dealing with a progressive spring, really light actually, progressive spring, so that kind of explains our feelings that we had on our little ride. And then as far as the valving goes, compression side, all that is our compression valving. So same deal, that explains the feelings we were having, with just a lot of harshness, and even, yeah, small bump compliance wasn't really much of a thing. Righty, both legs apart now. We've ordered up some, or measured up the springs. Being such a new bike, there's not actually any, I guess, these correct springs available yet, so we're going to actually throw in some linear springs rather than a progressive, slightly different measurements, so we'll have to machine up some new spacers and stuff like that when they arrive, but yep, we can sort that out, that's easy. And here we go, here's compression leg here, we showed you that before. The pistons are, obviously we're pretty limited by piston design on this fork as well. Rebound leg, probably pretty light on the valving on this side, and especially now since we're going to go up, we're going to go quite a bit stiffer with the springs, so we'll definitely need to beef up this rebound stack. But yeah, hopefully we'll see those springs very shortly, and we'll share into the rear shock as well. Righty guys, I just thought I'd just do a quick comparison. I've got the CFMoto 450 forks apart, and I've also got a Desert X in here at the same time. Just so happens I'm doing fork seals on that tonight, so I thought what better time. So this closest one here, this is just the inner cartridge, or the cartridge out of the CFMoto. It's a KYB 41mm fork, and then the KYB 46mm fork. Not much difference as far as componentry. I know a lot of guys are just asking questions going, I know it says KYB on it, but how good is the quality going to be? Yeah, and we've pulled both of these apart, obviously revalved the CFMoto. We're not touching valving in this Desert X at this point, just doing fork seals on it, but yeah, it's all KYB stuff, fork and shock, it's all high quality stuff, so yeah, whether you're going to get one of those or whether you want to get one of these, it's all good stuff. Alrighty guys, back on the CFMoto, got some, we tried a couple of different fork spring options that we found might work, and the first option of course didn't work. So we're on round 2 at the moment. As you can see, one fork's back in the bike, that's the rebound leg, that's all revalved, new spring in there, ready to go. So I'll show you the spring we're using. Alrighty, here's our springs. So this is left hand side, this is a standard spring, so it's actually progressive spring. As you can see, it's tightly wound at one end and not so tight on the other end. So our replacement is a linear rate spring, just to try to take away a lot of that initial, I guess, brake dive in the front end, and also you can see it's quite a bit longer, which you might freak out about, but there is 2 quite large spaces already in the fork from standard, so we can easily modify that to fit, and yeah, she's good to go. I've got our compression side leg revalved, ready to throw back together. Alrighty, first thoughts. Just took it for a quick spin on the same route that I did before we had to play with this thing. Just yeah, a lot more hold up in the front end now. A lot more braking traction, and yeah, just got rid of all that twitchiness and uncertainty out of the front end. I got the shock out of this 450. Actually, just looking at it, it's obviously not in there now, but before I pulled it out, it sort of looked a little bit daunting, like I might have to pull a whole bunch of stuff off. But yeah, deeper inspection, you can get to the shock bolt, the top shock bolt through that little hole. And I found, yeah, with a stubby spanner, I got onto the nut on the other side, and then down the bottom, yeah, just drop your linkage, pull rod and knuckle out the way, and yeah, just pull your shock flap back, and easy enough, slide straight out the back without too much trouble. So here she is. Neat little tidy unit. Obviously, yeah, spring preload adjustment we've got, rebound adjustment on the bottom, so not a completely basic shock like some of these things do have, but yeah, we'll tear in and see what we're working with. Right, here we have it, shock pulled down. So standard valving is a bit interesting. There's sort of not really much to it. This here is our compression stack, 2 little shims. Explains our feeling we're having with the back end. It's been so wallowy, there's only one shim actually stopping the oil. That obviously sits there for those who don't know. Yeah, it's only that one shim bending out the way for compression side, and then same with the rebound. There's only 4. I've used that one. Yeah, 4 shims, and then a couple of big spacer washers here. Rebound side, so we've actually developed our own compression stack up here, and then obviously piston will go there, and our rebound stack here. So we'll throw all this in, put the shock on the bleeder, spring back on, and throw it back in, and go for a test ride. Shock's all rebuilt, hooked up to our little bleeder setup we got going on here. Get this thing bled up, throw the spring back on, and chuck it back in the bike. Hey guys, just finished up this CFMoto. Took it for a bit of a spin. Well, took it for a bit of a spin this afternoon with that shock revalve, as well as the forks resprung and revalved. Totally different bike on the road, on the bitumen and on the dirt roads, and a few other little valleys we've got out near my place here. Yeah, a lot more hold up in the whole bike, front and rear. Obviously, it was quite undersprung in the front before, and just way undervalved in the back end. We didn't end up changing the shock spring for the customers. Customers nearly 100 kilos, and we can get away with using that stock spring in the rear. So yeah, going to take it back to him tomorrow. He's going to go do some trail, hit some big trails on it, and give us some feedback. And we'll definitely keep refining this. This isn't a set and forget kind of setting that we've put in this thing. Definitely keen to keep developing. I know there is specific springs, and there is some kits coming out for these things from the big companies here in Australia. So yeah, we'll keen to jump on those things as well and do some testing with those, as well as I know there's already some fork cartridge kits for the forks available at the moment. So yeah, there's options for these things. Obviously quite a budget bike, value for money, and this specific setup, I mean, you're well under $1,000 for this setup. So obviously those cartridges will push you well over that, but with the shock, like, you'd still be under $2,000 for the whole setup, and yeah, you're not too deep in your pockets for a really budget friendly adventure bike. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. See you on the next one.